Our mystery today is what happened to the 10,000 trucks? Tesla is producing at the pace about 10,000 trucks a year once the new truck factory is done. The issue is we have 300 orders thus far, and the question is, how do you build a factory for 10,000 vehicles a year when you only have 300 orders? This is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. Bonjour, wie geht's, Razvice? Thanks once again for joining us. If this is your first time on our channel, please take time to like and subscribe. If you're a return visitor, welcome back. My talk today focuses on the mystery of the missing 10,000 trucks. So why are they missing? Because if you look at what those numbers are, the head of trucking for Tesla has gone to Europe and announced that they're not sure when they're going to be able to sell in Europe because demand is so heavy in the United States that there's no way for them to sort of guarantee when it is that they'll be arriving in Europe with the truck. So this is how the mystery sort of got started. There are only 300 orders that have been made in the United States. Tesla's telling Europe it may be 2 or 3 years out before they see any inventory of the trucks. And literally they're not giving a date because that's how strong demand is. But we're only seeing 300 orders thus far. So the question is sort of what's going on with this? The answer to this whole thing sort of comes out, and that's sort of the mystery we're walking our way through. So the first part of this is that Tesla's process on the truck is going to be similar to the Model 3. They're going to probably do a number of copies, something in the 300 to 500 range of this vehicle. So this is a very interesting situation because the bottom line is that there are huge amounts of demand for this, and Tesla has to make a decision for how they're going to handle allocation of an in-demand asset where there are huge numbers of big players that want copies. So it's not viable to simply give everything to one entity until you finally meet their orders and then move along in that fashion. Hence, they're in a triage situation where a few orders are being given to a number of companies so they can sort of build out the infrastructure so that once Tesla's finally able to get them all their trucks, they'll be ready to go on those, handling those vehicles at their facilities. So I find it kind of makes sense in terms of process of what they're doing. There are some other caveats to this. Another one is that DHL just announced that they were comfortable with their order because they've been driving the vehicle, different copies of it, over the last several months. And they're very confident in their order and the impact that these products are going to have on their supply chain. So I thought this was very interesting because the impression given was that the introduction of the truck had been delayed by Tesla until November when they originally were supposed to start in September, then October, then November. And the reality was that for the people who are really buying the trucks at a large scale, they've been sort of in the order process from probably in the May time frame. So by being exposed early and often, they've been able to really put the truck through its paces, or trucks, plural, through their paces to make sure it actually works and that they can get great value out of it by putting money into it. Another element of the sort of clues about this is the fact that Tesla went from a $5,000 deposit to a $20,000 deposit. I really think that $20,000 deposit tells everyone that we've got so much demand that we can raise it to $20,000 because, number one, we know people will pay it, and number two, we ain't got enough trucks to sell those people anyway. So by putting the price up that high, it may reduce the number of early orders that we're getting from them, and subsequent orders will be kind of slowed down to a pace that they could handle. I'm also fascinated by the punitive nature of what went on here. I was impressed that you could have 20, 30 companies driving the vehicles and staff around the vehicles and folks not leaking and Tesla being able to make it to their announcement without photos or other information leaking out to the press. And I believe that the answer to this is that Tesla came up with a project a process to figure out who was leaking and who wasn't. And as you may recall, Ryder Systems announced in May that they had visited the Tesla factory for a 300-mile vehicle, and that triggered a whole news cycle related to that. And I thought that was fascinating because one of the companies that was allowed to do orders, but they didn't say how many they ordered, was Ryder. And I believe what Tesla did was say, hey, if you leak, we will either not allow you to order or put you at the back of the line for ordering if you do that. And I think once Ryder was penalized in this fashion, they got the message loud and clear that they need Tesla more than Tesla needs them. So silence is golden. So I expect there to be very little conversation that's not at a surface level by most of the players that are involved in the acquisition of these trucks. In fact, the folks that even told about the 300 accounts that they were ordering, etc., I think is impressive because I think it's part of the Tesla silence program. So I wanted to note that it's terrific to see how much demand there is for this vehicle, the fact that you have some of the biggest companies in the world, Walmart, Loblaw, DHL, etc., involved in acquiring and putting these babies to work is a positive sign for the planet and is a positive sign for reduction of greenhouse gases from burning fossil fuels. I also think it's interesting to watch the Tesla process with people with that much money to spend in terms of controlling their behavior to get a successful process done. The fact that they're sold out shows the value in the marketplace that's recognized from every angle, including cost reductions related to fuel and repairs, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the mystery is fun to watch, and I expect over the next months and weeks to see dribs and drabs of a few orders here or there from other potential large customers that are sort of added to the order book because they may not have made it in initially, but they recognize that it's in their best interest to be involved in the ordering process because the truck is truly a game changer, and those left out of it potentially jeopardize their futures. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think about Tesla's process of giving info to those buying before letting the general public in on what's going on? Look forward to any of the comments you may have on this below. This is our the end of our talk for today. Thanks for the time. Tjus maakt goed over alle hydrohoot. And remember to subscribe and like. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.